Yo, what is up, guys? Gamerverse back again, here to do another review yet again for you guys, man. And today we are reviewing The Bunker. So, if you guys don't know what this game is, it is actually a live action FMV game, full motion video, psychological horror type of game. You got one protagonist in the game, Adam Brown. He's trapped in a nuclear bunker, and I want to emphasize it's actually no CGI at all. The whole game is a full motion video type of thing, but you choose your choices, you choose what you want to do, you choose the dialogue. You don't really talk with anyone in this game. It's more of like actions and things that you have to do to progress in the game. This game is quite old. Came out, sorry, back in September 2016. It was developed by Wales Interactive. They are the crew behind some other FMV games. There's another FMV game that I actually played of them. I think it's called The Late Shift, and I think there might be like two more that they did develop. But this niche is very specific. It's for a specific type of player, but I feel like a lot of people can actually hop into this depending on your preference. But it is basically like a movie that you are playing, and it has a niche, like I said, but it overall it can be completed in like 3-4 hours. So yeah, today we are reviewing this game, and as you guys know how I do my reviews, I like to provide topics in the video, talk a little bit about the topics, and then at the end of the video I will give the game a final score, and then you will decide if you do want to play this game or not. And if you do, let me know, and if you don't, let me know too. I still like to hear from you guys. And without further ado, let's get into the first topic. So for the first topic, I want to talk FMV games in 2025. Just I want to talk about this type of games. Is this outdated, or is it still compared to other games, and like the Complex. The Complex is a really good FMV game. One of the best FMV games I actually played was the Complex. That game had more depth to it. This game does have depth, but it's more of like an isolation type of thing, because you don't talk to everyone in this game. There are flashbacks in the game where you do get to see the story as in its whole and entirety. But is FMV still a unique experience in 2025, or has it worn off a little bit? I think depending on if you are a fan, like I've been a fan of FMV games since the first FMV games came out, so I'm a diehard FMV fan. So I like these kind of games. I like movies that have these or FMV games that have these these unique stories and everything. So I guess it just depends on your preference. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get into the story. I'm just gonna analyze the game story a little bit for you guys. It does hold emotional impact because you are alone in this bunker, like I mentioned, and you do need to like manage resources. But like I said, there's a lot of flashbacks that happens in the game, and you get to see how these flashbacks impact the story and why he is effectively alone in the end and why he's trying to escape. Yeah, and I mean, how effective is the claustrophobic atmosphere today? Because it's like you're in a bunker. It's basically like Fallout type of vibes, and you have to worry about the radiation, and there's a slow burn tension. And I think that's one of the things that resonated with me, because as a horror fan, I like those kind of things. I like apocalyptic games, and I'm into the radiation thing because I'm a big fan of Fallout. But I mean, the story that you get here is decent. It's packed into 4 hours of gameplay. You can finish it in a day depending on how you play. But I think the story is not as good as it could have been. There was a lot of times where I was playing the game, I was like, okay, why does this matter? And it just felt a little bit hollow for me. So but I mean, it's FMV game. I'll literally play any FMV game. If it has a good story, I'll play it. But this one had a very mid story. The story isn't that good. But the presentation is there. Like, I mean, the radiation vibes and The only thing that killed it for me for the story was the fact that you don't really talk to anybody, like you're isolated and everything. And I get that is to add weight to the story and to make you feel like you are isolated in this bunker or whatever. Yeah, that's just my preference anyways. But yeah, let's get back into the topics. Next, let's talk visuals and presentation. How does it look in 2025? The FMV of the game, the quality of the live action footage in the game is actually, I think it's 2K. It could be 2K or it could be 1080p. It does feel immersive despite being that low quality. I mean, we got 4K today and everything's coming out in 4K. There's a noticeable gap in the aging. Like, I mean, it came out in 2016. There's a big gap. And especially for you to think about hopping into the game in 2025. Some of you maybe never even heard about this game. There's a big gap. Like, you can see the quality and you will notice it depending on if you are like a quality nerd and you know 720 to 4K 8K whatever, you will notice the gap. But I mean, it's still decent to look at. I mean, 1080p isn't that bad, 2K isn't that bad, and it was decent enough. I mean, the presentation, the shots that they used for the game was very well shot, very cinematic shots. But some of the shots wasn't that cinematic. There's some shots where you will be like, I know they could have framed this better. There's a lot of parts in the game where they could have framed it much better than they actually framed it. So yeah, next I want to talk gameplay. Let's talk gameplay. Gameplay mechanics, is it simple? Is it effective? It is point and click, so it's more minimal style, meaning you have to point and you need to click, you need to find clues in the frames. Alternatively, you need to progress by looking at certain parts in the frame of the game and seeing what advances the game and what makes it interactive, of course. And the simplicity is there and it doesn't hurt the experience at all. It actually enhances the experience, making it more minimalistic. But for those of you who don't like point and click games, this is not going to be your cup of tea. So if you don't like point and click games, it's not going to be your cup of tea. But I mean, it's still very easy to catch on. It isn't that hard. It's not like playing a Souls game. It's easier than playing a Souls game. It's not like Elden Ring or anything. It's very easy to get along with. So yeah, those are the gameplay mechanics. You point and click, you decide what to do. There are parts in the game where you decide which way you need to go, what you need to open, what you need to read. So it is how can I say, it is open to a certain extent where you get to make your own decisions. But like I said at the beginning, you don't really talk to anybody other than the flashbacks that takes place in the game. So yeah, those are the gameplay mechanics. Very simple but very effective. Next, I do want to talk PC performance and optimization. How well does it perform? Actually, it does perform very well without any issues. I did experience zero crashes, no issues at all. There wasn't any patches for the game. I think there might have been one or two, and the game does run very well on PC and on console. I played the game on PS4 as well, but in this video you will just see footage from my PC in 2025. This footage was taken in 2025. And yeah, like I said, the console performance was really well. It runs on 60 frames per second, and the fact is, on PC you can't really see because it is FMV, so it doesn't show the FPS. And I had to actually go onto Wales Interactive website to see the FPS, and I think it's more of like 40 frames per second for PC. There's no doubt in my mind that it will be the same for console. So yeah, that is it for PC. Next, I do want to talk a little bit about the sound and the music, how the game uses sound to amplify tension. The commentary, if there is any commentary, it's just the thinking that the guy does. The guy that you play with, he just does a whole lot of thinking, and then you obviously hear the voice that he uses, because he's speaking to himself, and there isn't anybody in this bunker at all, so he's just thinking to himself all the time. And his voice isn't that bad. Like, I mean, it isn't that bad, but it's decent. It's decent. Could have been better. Like, could have been better. But I think they're using the actor, the actor's voice, which is the same guy as you're playing with. You use his voice, and that's how he sounds. Nothing we can do about it. But I mean, could have been a little bit better. But I mean, it's decent enough. I completed the game. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, next I do want to talk verdicts. Is the game worth your time? Who would enjoy this game? Is it worth a replay? If you played it back in 2016, maybe you're coming back. If you are a newcomer, should you still give it a shot? I think people who are fans of FMV, of course. First off, FMV fans will enjoy this game. If you are a fan of decision-based games, so if you are a fan of decision-based games, like Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human, games like that, those aren't specifically FMV games, but they have the same mechanics and same similarities that FMV games have, like The Bunker. So if you're a fan of those games, definitely you will enjoy this game. You won't enjoy it that much, but I mean, it will be something that you will play because of the fandom. I mean, you're a fan of decision based games. This type of game will scratch that itch a little bit. It won't be as good as Detroit Become Human, but it's something. It's an FMV game. It's something they produced, and it is decent enough. I mean, for 3 hours, it doesn't steal a lot of your time, and it's worth a play. At least play it for the first hour and see if you like it. It's definitely worth a replay for people who's played it before. Maybe you can get a second, get a different ending. I think there are about 4 endings for the story. I think about 4 endings, and newcomers. If you, like I said, if you aren't a fan of FMV games, I don't think you're gonna like this, especially this one. This isn't one that I would start with, especially if I've never played an FMV game. I don't think this should be the one. But if you do end up giving this one a chance, let me know what you think. And I think the final score for this game, guys, is going to be a 4.5. Okay, let's go 5. Let's go 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Yeah, that's my final score for the game. I think a solid 5 out of 10. And just because there are a lot of things that could have been better about it, and they didn't execute on it really that the way that I think they could have, because with their previous titles, no, I think the Complex is older. The Complex came out in 2019. This was one of their first projects. So I feel like they've learned from this, because the Complex is definitely a better game. And it's developed by the same people, Wells Interactive. And I think they learned a lot from this game. And then the project that they had, the Complex, was really good. That was actually one of the starting points for a lot of people. And yeah, that's my final score, guys. I have been Gamerverse, and of course this has been another review for myself. I appreciate you guys for checking out this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, Let me know what you think. If you're planning on playing this game, let me know. If you're not, let me know too. I would still like to hear from you. And of course, I have been Gamerverse, and I'll see you guys in another video.